Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. So, how do I clean all this up? First off, note that everything should be smoothed, not 3 on the keyboard, but smooth. The end result of smooth. So, here, this shape would probably be later on down the road, able to go like this. Okay? So I'm going to kind of live with that idea that this part does, in fact, go back and forth. This part would probably travel along with this. So actually, these two parts could be combined together. There's no reason why that can't happen. And then I'm going to take this and put the pivot point right here. That way it actually rotates around. Good. Also, I want to put this in a way that I can grab a hold of it. So I'm going to put it more up here. And that way when I grab a hold of it, see how easy that is. Okay, another thing, this hole cover. Okay, D and Victor on the keyboard will allow me to move the pivot point here. And I would say this is another thing that might open and close. So I'm going to open it up. And you can see that, I don't know, it just lacks something right here in this area. I think it would look better if I put a big, huge toy hinge there. So, in this case, I'm just going to use a cylinder. Extrude it. Smooth it. And I still want that to open up and close up, so I'm just going to use this as a big, huge cylinder and shrink it down just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put this back to 0 first. Going to get it into place. And then I'm going to combine these two objects together. Again, if I had this one and I tried to make this form off of it, that would produce a lot of polygons. So I'm going to choose to combine it rather than that. And then dog Victor on the keyboard will allow me to point snap that here. And dog on the keyboard will allow me to move it in a little bit. And that will allow me to now rotate that up. And it looks a little bit better. Okay. So that's how I want it. All of this stuff has history. So I'm going to go edit, delete by type history. Okay. I'm going to make sure that nothing has influence over anything else. So in other words, in this antenna, there's this cable. Get rid of that cable. Get rid of the actual curve. Okay, starting to look a little bit better. Okay, now I got rid of that, so I'm going to delete by type history. Another thing is I want everything named conventionally. Now would this antenna move here? Yes. These would probably move together. So I'll combine those. And the turret has its pivot point somewhere along, maybe right there. So I can turn that. Okay, now what's going on? Well, first off, let's name this stuff before we get any nuttier. Let's go into Window, Hypergraph Hierarchy. And you're going to find out there is a million things in here that don't belong. Okay, see them all? Okay, I do not want to see that stuff. In fact, what's going to happen is we're going to first take all these objects and edit, delete by type history. That'll get rid of some of them. And then I'm going to concentrate only on the items that are in the screen. these other things are now junk. We can get rid of these. And usually what I do is I go use hypergraph hierarchy to see if there's anything in here. And then I make sure that in the scene nothing really is physically being highlighted. So look at that, nice and clean. 1, 2, 3 items. I also want them named conventionally. Gun. Manhole. And then turret. Okay, now everything's named conventionally. First saved scene as, so I don't lose anything else. And now what I would do is take this object A and object B and parent them together. So P on the keyboard, and this one and this one, and P on the keyboard. And that way when I move the turret around, it moves around. When I rotate the turret, everything else rotates. But then again, I can go in here and rotate the gun, and I can close the lid. Isn't that swift? So that's exactly how I want it turned in. I want it turned in to the point where hypergraph hierarchy is super clean. Everything's named conventionally, and everything rotates correctly if it's a usable part. Alright? Alright, so I guess that's it. Meet me in the next video just in case.